Where are you looking, you idiot? Of course, Mia chose to fight on the ground, which was completely opposite to Ryu. She didn't allow Ottar to chase after the elf who couldn't be dealt with, and rushed into his arms and swung the giant shovel fiercely. This was also defended by Ottar. When he was about to crush Mia from the front, the immediately revived star sword obstructed him from the top of his head. Divide the enemy's consciousness into heaven and earth and slow down their speed accordingly, preventing them from devastating. The abundant binding made the LV-7 beast transformation even more angry, and the chant of justice was completed in an instant. Justice is circulating, final windy Mia. Ryu inherited and activated the all-healing magic that Mariu, the only healer in the Hestia Familia, was good at. It only works on one person. It works well, but it's slow to start. Therefore, Ryu chose to rely on her power that was healing herself and others. The purple star grains also flew towards Bell, who was still upgrading skill points, healing the superficial wounds. You're very clever, Ryu. The pain was relieved, and Mia, who had gained vitality, delivered a more powerful blow. Not far behind her, Hayden looked at the disc accurately. However, even if the wound is healed, our spiritual power will soon run out. We can't fight for long. He is in charge of the overwhelming central defender. There is no point in focusing on being responsible for the defender. In the case of insufficient personnel, even if the strength is increased now, it will be suppressed by the bestialized wild boar. Hayden played at a level comparable to the best forwards, brandished his long-handled knife, and slashed at Ottar. Regardless of the distance, he would decisively use magic shots to close the gap between Ryu and Mia. He truly fulfilled the duties of his original profession as a top defender, magic swordsman. After losing his glasses, he is no longer an intelligent mage, but looks like a wild warrior, fighting Ottar with Mia and the others. Ottar gave up absolute defense and chose absolute attack. He chose to hit each other. He allowed his body to show animal nature, but at the same time maintained the rationality of a warrior and was in a deadly fight. He did not say that he was hunting, take advantage of the situation. Instead, he ignites his fighting instincts and confronts the adventurers who growl like the weak. Facing the absolute attack that had no effect on evasion and defense, the first-level adventurers used their skills, wisdom, and a flash of inspiration to survive. If it is said that one hit will surely knock him down, then he will have no chance to make a move. Hit him hard with magic and strip off the armor of the absolute. Using attacks from 3 directions disrupts his sense of distance, interferes with his aim, and finally makes him hit the air. The adventurers became smarter, more adaptable, and stronger with their only defeat being food. The dirty sublimation movement of all levels also strengthened this momentum, giving rise to a confrontational fighting situation. It's amazing. Watching this scene, Bell said softly. The figure of the adventurers on the distant peak fascinated the boy who had just reached level 5. It's nothing special. Young man carved sacred text on his back. Without delay, she shed a lot of sweat and, with precision and smoothness, made the group of jet-black characters dance, recording the beginning of the story that was about to begin. Bell Cranel. LV5 Strength, I41G 222, Durability, I39F 340, Dexterity, I49G 245, Agility, I77F 311, Magic, I498. Luck, F, Abnormal Resistance, G, Escape, G. Total Skill Value Proficiency, the total increase value exceeds 999. There is such rapid growth in just one battle. But not enough. No way. Even with this level of growth, it is hopelessly far from being able to reach the top where the strongest is. Then don't lose, Bell Cranel. But the goddess still shook the hearts of herself and the boy, and shouted. "Win, Mr. Bell." "Yes." Bell stood up abruptly. The god dagger held in her hand sensed the user's growth and also lit up with a bright light. "Master Bell, please, win." Then the golden-haired demon fox smiled and offered the last reserve tale to the boy. Million treasure mallet. Ability to increase drastically. Forced sublimation in just 20 minutes. Even if Haruheim falls into a deep sleep, the miracle she produces will not stop. Then the girl who exhausted her strength slowly fell, engraved the back figure wrapped in countless particles of light in her eyes, and lost consciousness. Pray for the youngsters to have martial arts and victory. Under the gaze of the goddess who was holding the girl, the boy kicked the ground. Bathed in the voices of several townspeople who would never reach his ears, he threw himself into that battlefield. The true finale began. All those qualified to fight gathered together, and Battle Wilderness let out its final roar. Even Orario on the other side of the mountains turned the remaining power into solidarity, and the adventurers challenged. What was born was a heroic attack and defense. Bursts of thunder of flames, flashes of white and pitch black. Once the psalm of justice is sung, the star sword and the petals of fire roar, and the stardust intertwined with the green wind descends, countless thunder soldiers follow in order to launch an attack, and the blow of the people of the land who join the battle ranks also causes the black greatsword to come out. With the king who is in command of thunder and lightning as the center, the four are intertwined with each other, and the torrent of strength and speed flows rapidly around. Even so, the fierce pigs that confronted each other remained unmoved. Even though the rabbit bared its fangs, the elves sang songs, and the people of the land exhausted their mighty strength, the warrior still reigned supreme. He swung his black sword as if looking down at the earth, his steel body turned into a shield, and defeated the opponent with the meaning of strongest on the other side of the boiling tide of blood. LV 6, 1 person. LV 7, 3 people. The usual calm had long since disappeared, and Asfi, who looked at the mirror, shouted loudly. Breakthrough combat power. This level of dirty formation is enough to easily break through the deep layer of the labyrinth. In general, there is nothing they cannot break. Even so, still can't win. Aina from the guild headquarters and Ibri from the hall shouted at the same time. Level 6 simulated entries. Adding the white rabbit whose agility value is out of control, this is the last push. But even so, it was still impossible to capture, number 1's fortress. Really? How can I win this? How do I know? Elder sister Tioni, I couldn't help but shout, younger sister Tiona, she shouted back, as if trying to shut her up. There are loopholes. Ottar's beast transformation isn't invincible. Gareth and Riveria watched the final scene and shouted the only breakthrough. It should be clear. Keep attacking. Finn threw away the leader's mask, urging them to remain brave and reap the end. Besides him, Aiz clasped her hands together on her trembling chest. Defeat him. Looking at the scarred boy in the mirror, the blonde-haired, golden-eyed girl only prayed that this would come true. Don't lose. The elf shouted, shaking her short hair. Humans, dwarves, and Amazons emitted sounds one after another, creating a huge wave of sound. They shouted loudly, in solidarity with all their strength, and raised their clenched fists. The voice of the Absolute that does not allow for a bit of hope. The people lost their words and turned pale. Presumably, no one will cheer for the man. Even if there is, the voice will be too small, too few. On this lonely battlefield, the vigorous, for a moment, smiled like an illusion. Hearing the continuous roar, Freya stood up from her throne for the first time. The goddess of beauty can't use the mirror or her eyes, she can't quickly grasp the details of the battlefield. But the cry of beast can still be heard now, making her aware that the family maintains the beast transformation. Stop, Ottar. One of Ottar's skills is Battle Pig Call. This skill is related to beast transformation, just like Werewolf Bet. What you see can be activated at will. It can bring a great increase in ability, including basic ability and development ability, and give you a power so powerful that it can be mistaken for sublimation. But there are also disadvantages. Every time a skill is activated, physical and mental strength will be greatly reduced. The longer the beast state is maintained, the more consumption will be accumulated in the body, and even the manifest automatic healing, neither of which can be fully responded. As long as your bestialization meets the right condition, there is no danger to bet. The difference between the two lies here. Stop it, Ottar. If he continued to fight like this, sooner or later he would run out of energy. Before that, you must come to your senses and regain your composure.